What's up, everyone? Wraith here from RipNtear Gaming, and this time I wanted to do something a little bit different. I wanted, first of all, to do a breakdown, but also reaction video for the most recent trailer that just released a while ago. Basically, the release trailer for Doom Eternal. Yeah, I haven't really done these type of things before. I didn't really have a whole lot of time to do more of a breakdown of everything, so do this kind of as a more traditional sense of a reaction video while breaking everything down. So yeah, let's go ahead and get into it. Before we get going, just want to let you all know that I probably will do some streams on Doom 2016 just in anticipation for Doom Eternal, and as a way to kind of say goodbye almost to it, because once Doom Eternal comes out and everyone's playing it, it's gonna be really hard to go back to Doom 2016 just because of all the mechanics and just everything different about it. So definitely keep in the loop for that. If you're new here, definitely subscribe and set up notifications so you can know when I do upload those streams. But anyway, let's go ahead and jump into it, and yeah, let's rip and tear. So
the inner circle of death is where he resides, hunting them at the far reaches of the earth and beyond. And with him lies our salvation. There is only one dominant life form in this universe, and it carries a steel-barreled sword of vengeance. Welcome home, Great Slayer.
oh yeah. Oh, the soundtrack.
The Slayer's time is now.
Ooh boy, ooh boy, that was a really good launch trailer. Oh man, that was like at least 10 times better than the Doom 2016 one. Oh man, there's so much to talk about in this trailer, and man, let's start at the very beginning. Of course, we obviously see the rated M for mature. I totally thought it would have been T for teen, of course, right? But no, anyway, to be more serious. The Icon of Sin. Now, of course, we see him a little bit better right here. Man, he looks so sweet in that suit. And this is the thing, I think, because we do see him a little bit later in the trailer, where he's, more bare. I'm thinking that this type, because we know he's going to be a boss fight, of course, right? And with him in this suit, I'm thinking obviously this is going to be like kind of a two-phase type of fight. I'm thinking that we'll first fight him in this suit, because we know that he was resurrected by the Con Maker. This is a spoiler, obviously. I think at this point, I think we all should anticipate that there are obviously going to be a lot of spoilers here. But in the game text, or at least the text when the game is loading for Taras Navad, I think that's how you pronounce it. It's probably pronounced something differently, but whatever. It does mention in the text that the Con Maker was trying to resurrect the Icon of Sin after the 3 Hell Priests were killed by the Slayer. So, this is probably what happened. We can see that the armor kind of does look like it would be something from Urdak or that type of technology. And with the Icon of Sin probably was put into this armor. As far as the fight goes with him, now, it's kind of tough to tell how this would work out. I know, of course, with the mechanics, with the meat hook, how we can swing to higher up positions. I'm assuming because this is also downtown of a city, that we will probably be able to attack it probably within the buildings. Just like at that one trailer at the very end, we did see the Icon of Sin walking through just how we are right now. And so that's probably how the fight might actually work out. We might fight him throughout each building, and then of course maybe once we defeat him, he gets probably, you know, tons of chunks of armor taken off or whatever, and it gets to the point where he needs to take off the armor, and then we see him kind of more bare, and then that might be more the final phase of the fight. I'm not entirely sure if he'll be the actual like final boss. I don't know. That's kind of a tricky thing because, you know, obviously with Doom 2, the Icon of Sin was the final boss, but with Doom Eternal, I'm thinking it's probably going to be the Con Maker, maybe, if anything, maybe somebody else. But we'll find out. But let's move on. Oh, there we go. That beautiful shotgun. Sweet. So, I just love the detail on this. You know, of course, there's a lot of the markings and language from the Sentinel people, or the Argenta, if you'd like to call them that. Man, and of course, this is called Lucifer's Bane. If for those who didn't know, I'm sure most of you do know by that. That is some text from, I think it's the lore book from the collector's edition. But man, the detail on this is looks amazing. I love it. Moving on. So yeah, obviously we're in, I believe this was the second level of the Exultia. So it's just him killing a Arachnotron. But I just love the detail. Like, id Tech 7 just does an amazing job. Just look at this. Like, you can see... Oh, by the way, this is really a good spot to land on. But look at the shotgun shells. You can see the individual lining, how each usual shotgun shell does have. But then there's also the markings. And you can see the Slayer mark, like, right here. Man, it's just so tiny. Like, just really tiny detail on everything there. And it's just... I really appreciate the amount of effort that id Software and the team have really done with this. Just, it's just so amazing. All right, let's keep going here. Great spot right here. Obviously, this is from the concept art of the Tower of Babel, where we see the tower obviously in the background, and with the Titan just kind of like leaned over and kind of like being tortured, basically, to the point where now he has molten lava coming out of his, looks like his eyes. And but yeah, it's crazy. I wonder how many Titans we'll be able to fight in Doom Eternal, because there is obviously that one Titan from that we know of at the very beginning of the game. I'm sure there'll be other Titans, because if we get to fight the Icon of Sin, which is basically a Titan, then I'm sure we'll be able to fight another Titan like this one. But this one is probably going to be far into the game, because obviously with the level of Exultia, we're a little bit farther away. But now here, this is like at the very beginning, like of the entrance of the tower. And this may be where that Archdemon, what was his name, Erebus, resides, because he was in charge of the Tower of Babel, Dis, and all that stuff there. So definitely a lot of lore in that the art book that was leaked. All right, well, moving on. Let's see here. Oh, that was a good spot. Oh, look at that. I didn't even realize that it has Mixum right there. So it looks like Mixum, for those who don't know, there's a lot of names, obviously, in the Doom world, like Mixum, IO, what is it? Enterprises or IO? I can't remember what it is, but there's manufacturing. It's IO Manufacturing, I think, is what it is. But there's a lot of those names that pop up within the Doom games, and also actually the Rage games, if you didn't know. So that's kind of an Easter egg, and then also you can see that the UAC is on here anyway. But kind of some small details, which is really cool, because even if you zoom in on even the guns in Doom 2016, you know, they say really funny things, like especially the rocket launcher, really small, fine print on even that, and I think the Gauss cannon as well has something, so it's pretty fun. Oh yeah, there we go. That answered my questions. It's IO Logistics Manufacturer, which is also something that you can find on the Praetor suit, on at least the Doom 2016 version. So it kind of begs the question of who created the Praetor suit, right? Because if it has these markings, it has English on it, that kind of does support the evidence that this is Doom Guy from, it may not necessarily be the original Doom Guy, but at least a Doom guy from an alternate dimension. And so this is really cool. I love this gun. I'm going to try using this as much as I possibly can because it's really good for getting demons into glory kill status, at least the lower fodder demons. But yeah, let's move on here. Obviously fighting a tyrant in hell. And now somebody did mention that this is actually something from Olivia Pierce. I don't know if we can find a really good spot. Let's see here. Kind of, but you can kind of see like the outfit that she's wearing kind of looks like it. But this is definitely in hell, as we can tell. Hell as we can tell. Oh, well, that rhymed. What do you know? But anyway, this is something I'm making note of. So that's just kind of interesting. I wonder if there'll definitely be a codex entry about that. I'll definitely keep an eye on that. All right, so here we see Urdak. Definitely the more full, up-to-date version, because now we can see that halo that kind of goes around the very top right here. But then also one thing I wanted to point out, now actually in the Art of Doom Eternal, the book, it does mention this thing right here that looks like a cross that's floating, and that is actually called an archangel, which is interesting considering, you know, an archangel would probably look more like a person, or at least an angel. So it kind of begs the question to know if Urdak is actually heaven, or if it's just something else that resembles it. But as far as it goes, yeah, Urdak is, I would assume, is probably going to be more towards the end of the campaign, just considering as far as how the developers have said that, like, we're going to encounter new demons every single level. And then of course with the end of the fodder demons was the, I think it was just the Maker drone is what it was, yeah. And with the Maker drones, those ones are actually be pretty tough because when at Bethesda Game Days, Hugo Martin did mention that they are going to be a little strong. They do shoot like I think a laser beam of some sort, and their weak point is their head. So you definitely want to try to take them out as soon as you can because you know what? They're probably going to be the replacement for the Hellraiser, because if they do shoot like a laser beam, kind of like what the Hellraiser did, then that would kind of make sense that we have that role kind of filled as far as somebody shooting like a laser. So. All right, well, moving on. Here, obviously, yeah, with the Sentinel throne room, kind of know about that area. Oh, and then of course here we get one of the glory kills, I'm assuming, for the Marauder, is where you basically grab his axe and then take him apart with it. So, which is interesting. Obviously, this is a trailer, but yeah, I'm pretty sure he would have a lot more damage taken before you actually do that move. But we can see that the background is actually what seems to be Urdak, just because of the yellow trees. That's what it looks like. But I wonder where all this purple is about. It's kind of interesting. Huh. Yeah, that's definitely... Because like we can see that it's definitely Urdak for sure. But with that purple, like it almost seems like maybe that's their way of processing Argent energy. I guess we'll find out. Alright. Ooh, that's a good look of him right there. I'm definitely going to be rocking the Knight Sentinel armor for sure. So that'll be like the first armor I try to unlock. Alright, and then of course here we get a pretty good pose of him right there, and of Earth going to crap. And oh yeah. He's going to be real difficult to fight, the Gladiator. But I just love his design because he definitely resembles the original Hell Knights, or at least, or maybe the Baron of Hell. Because they looked just like this, you know, like with the horns, like the jaw, the teeth, and even like the hair on their legs, their hoofs. Yeah, like this is definitely a Hell Knight or Baron of Hell from the original games. And so kind of the backstory with the Gladiator, it does mention it in the lore book, of course, so spoiler, is that at one point the Sentinel people kind of separated themselves and of course kind of broke themselves from their traditions, and as a result of that they actually did try to use the Colosseum, which used to be just mostly used for training and preparing Sentinels to be in the army. They just kind of converted it into an actual Colosseum, kind of like what the gladiators used back in the day. So it's definitely very interesting because this gladiator is obviously undefeated. So until the Doomslayer, obviously. So, But yeah, it's definitely going to be an interesting fight with him, because I'm really hoping that his shield is going to have some special attack to it, because if it's just him, you know, kind of blocking with it and then having the his mace, or I guess it would be a flail, because it kind of does separate and it can extend to the Slayer. Yeah, it would just make sense to have an extra attack, because obviously you don't want to get too close to him, because he'll probably hit you with the shield, and you don't want to be too far away, because then he can extend that weapon right towards you. So he's probably going to have some type of attack, probably a charging attack, I would assume, which would make sense. But then with that shield, because there is like a skull type of a face, almost like a demon head that's on there, that I'm pretty sure that that's what's going to happen there. At least be some type of weapon. And then what's also something to point out is that this area kind of looks like the same place where the Slayer kills Degrov, or at least that other person that we see in the story trailer, because this kind of does look like it. Like, you do see that there is this main entrance, so you probably will kill the gladiator first, and then maybe Degrov will come out or whatever, and then you kill him. But then you can see these side doors right here, gates, will probably open up, and then that's where the all those Night Sentinels come out with their spears that are red. This place may not be the exact location, but it would be definitely somewhere in Sentinel Prime for sure when that happens. All right. Oh, well, it looks like here from this, real quickly, is that when he is, you know, roaring, I guess, or just yelling out, you can kind of see some effect in the air that, I don't know, either that's some type of call for demons to show up, like to spawn them in, or maybe that is kind of a defensive attack. Guess we'll find out. But he definitely looks awesome. I can't wait to fight him. All right. And then here we actually get to see a pretty cool mural. This is, of course, based on that lithograph of the Gift of Argent. And this one's the one that's kind of the alternate one, because here in the lithograph, the one that you can usually find online, it shows De Granach right here. And then, of course, I don't know if I can zoom it far enough. There we go. Is that here you can see the Sentinels look a lot different. They don't look like the Sentinels from Doom 2016 with that armor. So here they actually have armor that's a lot different. They actually look more like Night Sentinels, at least as far as what the Marauder kind of looks like, or the Betrayer, like their type of armor. Even in the art book, there are some sketchings of Night Sentinels, so that's kind of what this might be based off of, as we'll find out. And then there's a part really quickly after this, if I can get to it really fast, right here. Now this is a really interesting spot to stop at and talk about real quick. Now, of course, we do see the Con Maker, which is pretty obvious that here she is. But of course, with the coloring around here, with kind of like the, kind of like a blur of some kind, but it almost makes it seem as if this is definitely a flashback. And maybe not. You know, this may be something that happens in the present. Guess we'll find out. But this person right here seems to be probably a Dig. It could be Degrov, it could be somebody else, maybe the Seraphim. It is a little odd that it almost looks like he's cut right here. As you it kind of seems like he's bleeding. But then he is having like some type of crown right there. But all in all, I really do think that this is Degrov. There are other people down here. It's kind of hard to tell if they're human or demons or something like that, but I really can't wait to see more of this. Like there was another person you could barely see at the very end right here. It's really tough. I may have to, yeah, I think that's about as far as I can see. Like it might be like a sentinel, who knows. But let's move on. I love this shot right here because it does the UAC soldier trying to defend the BSG 10,000. Yeah, good luck with that. But I just love that pose. It just looks so cool. Just see him just clenching his fist right there, and he's just so pissed at what the UAC is doing, and these guys just running off. I just love this pose of him. Moving on, we got the shotgun. Really good detail on it. Not sure why it looks like the default skin on it, because I'm sure obviously it's a trailer, so they can kind of modify things, obviously, because it looks like this is somewhere later in the campaign, and obviously you'd have mods to it by then. So I don't know, something to point out. But of course here you can see that this is a beginning of a level, because you're obviously going through the teleporter from the hub into this chamber or hallway that have all these sentinels with their spears, and then of course this guy right here. Now in the art book he's actually called the Maker Deacon, which is interesting. So as far as like a deacon in like religious terms, you know, it could be like kind of a caretaker type of thing, but kind of a lower rank of the makers, obviously, because with the con maker being the leader, and then the Maker Deacon, or you know, and then you got the Maker drones. Now of course, as the Slayer walks through here, the gate does open, and that is actually a really good shot of him. But oh, I just noticed this as well, that there's the wolves on here. Yeah, so this is definitely in Sentinel Prime. And then you got the I believe that these are the pictures of Seraphim. At least that's the rumor, or the theory. But as this happens, there is this is, first of all, let's just take this in. This is a really great pose of the Doomslayer. But anyway, moving on. There's also just like, I just want to play this part really quickly here.
Welcome home, great Slayer.
So with the guy speaking right there, we haven't heard that voice before, so a lot of things can come to mind. It could be De Grav, it could be the Seraphim, it could be that hooded figure, could even be that Maker Deacon speaking. So there's like a lot of different possibilities of who that person is. Definitely let me know in the comment section, who do you think that voice is? I don't think it would be De Grav, honestly, just because why would he say welcome home, right? So I'm thinking it could be the hooded figure, because he's such a mysterious person, or something to do with the Seraphim. That's just what I think. So let me know what you think. Moving on here, he is now using the BFG 9000 against all these other demons, and especially the Fire Baron. But real quickly, just look how awesome this BFG looks. Like, the IdTech 7 really adds so much detail. It's just like the Super Shotgun. All the weapons look amazing. All the fine little details on it. And if we can find a good spot right here, you can kind of see like all that detail just on the metal right there. Oh, looks so nice. And kind of like where it's worn out in some places too. But anyway, oh man, I just want to play this part. Sweet. All right, moving on. Yeah, he doesn't look too happy right there. He's like, oh, my legs. I love this part too with the zombie. He's like, you ripped my arm off. Oh, that chain gun is so amazing. You know, of course, 3 barrels in the turret mod. What, you thought that was enough? No, they were like, let's do 4, right? So 4 times 3, 12 freaking barrels. Awesome. Now, of course, this is definitely somewhere in probably the BFG 10,000 area, as we can just, you know, with the whole green, that just makes sense. This is definitely on the Phobos base. Yeah, and then of course, yeah, of course, one of the best shooters ever, and I couldn't agree more, for sure. Ooh, let me see if I can get a good spot. Right there. Wow. Yeah, so you can definitely see a lot more detail on the Doom Hunter. Apparently, yeah, that the machinery does definitely go a lot more into his body than I thought. Oh, and there's even some horns right here. I'd never noticed that. So, interesting. And, of course, Icon of Sin. Just looks awesome. Now, I know that some people were saying there isn't really a hole in his head, but there kind of is a hole in his head. You can kind of see it barely right there. But then you also got to remember that the Con Maker did resurrect him. So, you know, which is kind of interesting in the story, because if the Icon of Sin is the Betrayer's son, then he obviously would have done something with Argentineur. Maybe he was defeated, because obviously we do see the skull, or at least the head of the Icon of Sin in the necropolis on Doom 2016. But then that's the thing that doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, is that if the Con Maker had to resurrect him, but yet, I don't know. There's just definitely a lot more to the story. I don't want to dive too much into it, just because, you know, we're going to figure this out next week anyway. So definitely let me know your theories on that, though. You know, it's always fun to speculate and everything. So, but other than that,
The Slayer's time
this is the best part, obviously.
is now.
Right? Oh, such an awesome pose. I really love this right here. And then, of course, this whole, like, green lightning. I don't understand that, because maybe that has something to do with the BFG 10,000? I don't know. But other than that, that is my breakdown and reaction of the most recent trailer. Hope you guys liked it. This is definitely something new for me. I haven't really been doing any reaction videos, or really, like, kind of showing my face too much recently. If you guys want to see me more often, definitely let me know, and kind of give me some constructive criticism, see what I can do as far as, you know, doing better on the channel. I definitely always want to improve it, but as far as that goes, definitely like and subscribe, share this video. We are really close to the goal of 25,000 subscribers, so we'll probably actually reach it by the time Doom Eternal comes out, so I can definitely do that giveaway I wanted to do for like about 2 copies of Doom Eternal. So keep an eye out for that. And of course, next week I will try to do those streams for Doom 2016. But other than that, hope you guys have a good one. Definitely stay safe, be clean, wash your hands, and I'll catch you in the next one. RipNtear.